The New England Patriots on the verge of their first division title in 4 years if they can beat the Carolina Panthers, who have lost 14 consecutive games. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside the former New England Patriot running back Craig James. Great to have you with us this afternoon. Right now, the hottest team in the AFC, winning 5 consecutive games, the New England Patriots.
And one of the hottest players in the league right now is Tom Brady, headed to the Pro Bowl. He's completed 64% of his passes. He just doesn't make mistakes for a first-year guy at starting. And Antoine Smith on the ground. Here's a guy averaging 4 yards a carry. Because he's so effective on the ground, they don't have problems there with him, and they really do a good job.
It's a big game for the Patriots, who today take on the Panthers.
Presentation of the National Football League.
Many wrote off the New England Patriots after Drew Bledsoe's Week 2 injury. Coach Bill Belichick turned to an unproven quarterback, Tom Brady, and a group of men, when looked at individually, may not seem impressive. But Belichick formed a team whose results speak for themselves. Today, the New England Patriots can clinch the AFC Eastern Division Championship. The Carolina Panthers look to finish the season as they started, with a win for George Seifert. They are expecting freezing rain for the Patriots and Panthers here in Charlotte today. Once again, Kevin Harlan with Craig James. The AFC playoff picture is still not complete.
And one thing that everybody needs to realize, just go out and win your football game. For the Patriots, they got to get back on track. They've been off for 15 days. Can they overcome the bye? We'll find out.
Chilly day in Charlotte. Let's go downstairs to Beasley Reese.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. It is cold, but it's not too cold. It's going to be a good day for football. I was standing with the Patriots as they came out onto the field. They were chanting championship. The Carolina fans have said wait till next year, but there are so many New England fans here. It's going to feel like a home game for the New England Patriots and Tom Brady, the Brady Bunch. We'll see if they can live up to that championship chant. Back to you.
Yeah, I tell you, Bees, that Brady Bunch business has to fall in the hands of Antoine Smith, because this is a sloppy football field.
Todd Sauerbrun's kickoff, going short. Patrick pass, runs outside, and being chased by Broughton and Anderson, and Sauerbrunn, the guy that kicked the ball off, knocks him out of bounds. And down he went hard after a return of 33 yards. And he is still down. Pass got a touchdown pass a couple weeks ago on that Saturday game against Miami.
Yeah, you know what? This is not a late hit. He just got hit, and once he got over on that carpet, it is very slippery down there. They had a tarp on top of the field, and they took it off before the game, but I'm telling you, it's a very slippery field, and his footing right there and being so sure-footed is what allowed him to get to the outside.
From the 46-yard line, he's up now. 1st and 10. Antoine Smith in the backfield with the pitch. There's a block by Woody, but a nice tackle made by Jay Williams and Mike Rucker on that defensive line for the Carolina Panthers. A loss of 4 on the play as you take a look at Pro Bowler Tom Brady.
Just a good person to be around. You enjoy it. You're happy for him. You know, regardless. Fans around the country don't really know who this guy is yet. New England knows who he is, but he's establishing a reputation as a guy who just doesn't make mistakes. And mistakes is usually what hurts a football team.
2nd down and 14 from the 42. Smith still in the backfield. He'll get the pitch. The 1,000-yard gainer with some nice weaving up past the 50 and down to the 49. Brought down by Hitchcock and Deion Grant. A gain of 9. For the New England Patriots today on their offensive line, Matt Light, Compton, Woody, and Truzzi, and Robinson Randall. In the backfield, Smith and Edwards. Receivers Brown and Patton. The tight end is Rod Rutledge. 3rd down and 5 from the Carolina 49. Out of the pocket, Brady fires on the side. Caught by Troy Brown. And should be enough for a first down to the 43-yard line. On 3rd and 5, he picks up 6. Brown with with his 96th reception, which ties a single-season record in '94 by then tight end Ben Coates. Line for Carolina: Williams, Buckner, Jenkins, and Michael Rucker. Linebackers: Lester Towns, flanked by Dan Morgan and Darren Hambrick, the ex-Cowboy. Secondary: Hitchcock, Grant, Minter, and Evans. It is a first down for New England on the first drive of the game from the Carolina 43. Outside quickly to Brown, jousting with Hitchcock, and belted by Mike Minter, number 30. Minter is the leading tackler for the Carolina Panthers. The defense of Carolina, number 31. Their offense, number 31 in the NFL.
I think a real indication as to what the Carolina Panthers mindset is being answered here right now by the way they get to the ball carrier. You're seeing the Panthers defense getting to the New England guys who have the football. And, so all this cars running in the parking lot business about them leaving for the offseason, you can probably forget about that right now.
Second down, 5 from the 38. What a catch by David Patton, sliding his way to the 26-yard line. Picks up a first down, a gain of 12. And so far, the Patriots moving with ease downfield.
Yeah, so all that business about them not leaving early in Carolina and the bye week for the Patriots, forget about that being a problem. New England showing up, executing extremely well right now. Very crisp with the way they're running their offense.
Numbers on the ex-Brown and ex-Giant David Patton. First and 10, Antoine Smith, the ex-Bill, weaving his way down to the 21-yard line and picking up about 4 yards on the play. A 1,000-yard rusher for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, you talk about the last 3 seasons. These are 2 seasons right here. That's 2. Look what he's done in 1 season with New England. And the touchdowns and the production, but it's a guy, he's a big back. They wanted a big, powerful back, and they got that in the offseason. They were very fortunate to get Antoine Smith, an ingredient that New England's been missing for a while.
The 2 tight ends are out. Second down, 6, 21 of Carolina, 7th play of the drive. Brady twisting, here comes Jenkins. There goes the pass. It's caught by Edwards. Fumbling inside the 10. Tackled by Morgan at the 5. And New England's got it. First and goal to go. A 17-yard pickup through the air for the versatile fullback Mark Edwards.
Really good execution of showing to the left side. Watch how patient he is in selling it to the left side. Brady looks hard left to Antoine Smith, allows the line to get out in front of Mark Edwards, and then Edwards, being a smart, bull-nosed guy like he is, looks for that end zone. No dancing around, especially on slippery turf here. Just get north and south.
Empty backfield. Take a look at Edwards, who becomes the receiver on one side. Antoine Smith, the receiver on the other side. 5 receivers in all. First and goal at the 5. The snap from Compton. He goes outside. It's incomplete as he was aiming for Troy Brown. Damian Woody snaps when Brady is under him. Mike Compton moves over from guard on shotgun snaps. It's second down and goal.
One of the assets they have in New England is the multiple formations they use. They really do get themselves vanilla defensive looks because they move around so much with their personnel groupings that you almost are forced on defense to get vanilla.
Smith in the backfield, second down goal at the 5. Pitch out to Smith, the block by Edwards, cutting it. Oh, what a nice block on the play by Mike Compton, who opens up the gate, a 5-yard touchdown run with the flag down at the 6. And it's against New England. That'll wipe it away and gives up a pretty good-looking block by Compton, the left guard.
Holding. Number 71. Offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, there is no 71. I assume he means 77 Compton.
Yeah, he has to be talking about Compton, especially Compton was walking back over there.
You got that certain walk when you're guilty.
You just got it, man. It's like, I didn't take the candy. How about the guy, though? Compton comes in here with the shade visor on, a foggy day, a little freezing rain. I wonder how much he can see.
A down efficiency for both these teams. Second and goal at the 15-yard line. Smith in the backfield. And Brady. Great time. Good block by Compton again. Looking for the end zone. Incomplete. Fred Coleman was in his sights. A guy they called up off the practice squad back in November. It is third and goal at the 15-yard line on the game's opening drive.
I think Minter showed up today. What do you think?
Yes.
He's not. His car's not running in the parking lot.
Patrick Pass and J.R. Redmond have checked in for New England. Third and goal at the 15. 10th play of the drive. downfield from Patton. He's down to the 3. It's now 4th down and goal. And for the New England Patriots, instead of going for 6, they're going to try for 3. And so Belichick playing it conservative. Carolina's defense does their job and keeps New England out of the end zone.
Well, you got a lot of room you can work with here, but I like how they get Redmond over to the right side there. They cross Patton. He comes over. It's almost like a little screen in effect getting to the outside. A nice job of blocking on the outside by Patrick Pass, and J.R. Redmond trying to get to the end zone, but good execution all in all by both units here in this drive.
20-yard field goal by Adam Vinatieri. On the road, he has hit 11 straight. Overall, he has hit 6 straight. Make it 7 in a row overall. And another one for him. 20-yard field goal on the game's opening drive. The Patriots 3-0. Kevin Harlan and Craig James and Beasley Reese. You take a look at the guard, Mike Compton, who was called for a penalty on a touchdown run by Antoine Smith. They had to call it back, and so they have to settle for 3 from Vinatieri from 20 yards away. And now the ensuing kickoff for the New England Patriots. The number 1 kickoff man in the NFL from the 9. That's Pro Bowler Steve Smith, who is a rookie, and brought down by Tabucky Jones at about the 24, a 17-yard return. So we'll get our first look at the Heisman Trophy winner.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Honda CR-V, a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality. Next step, how business gets done. And by IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level.
Patriots, who are technically in first place in the AFC East, although tied with Miami, can win the division today if they win today. From the 25 after the kickoff and after the Vinatieri field goal, 1st down and 10. Chris Winkie hands off to the former Pittsburgh Steeler, Richard Huntley, who was brought down by Brandon Mitchell. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7. 29-year-old rookie Chris Winkie.
You know, the guy has a lot of passing yards this season. He's had some success, and I asked George Seifert, is this guy capable of being a good quarterback long term? Seifert really believes in him.
Stussy, Nesbitt, Mitchell, James, and Terry on the offensive line for Carolina. 2nd down and 7 with the ball at the 28. Quickly outside it goes, and the pass is lassoed by Smith, brought down by Ty Law, and close to a Carolina 1st down at the 35. It's a gain of 8 on the play as you take a look at one of those talked about rookies. He's out of Utah. 5'9" Steve Smith. That's the offensive line again. Stussy and Terry anchoring the tackle positions. In the backfield, Richard Huntley with Brad Hoover, Patrick Jeffers along with Donald Hayes, the receivers. Mangum is the tight end. 3 of the top 4 Carolina receivers out and injured today, including Pro Bowl tight end Wesley Walls. 1st and 10. Here comes Anthony Pleasant. There goes the pass over the head, whistling away and out of bounds. Patrick Jeffers was in his sights. 2nd down and 10. The New England Patriots have the 24th rated defense in the NFL. Hamilton, Mitchell, Seymour, the rookie, and Anthony Pleasant. Linebackers for New England, Brewski with Vrabel on one side and the veteran Roman Pfeiffer on the other. And the secondary corners, Law and Smith, hard-hitting safeties, Jones and Malloy. 2nd down and 10 from the 35. The pitch out to Huntley, a block by Hoover, running outside. And up to about the 44-yard line, about a yard shy of a 1st down on a gain of 8 yards by Richard Huntley, who in Atlanta backed up Jamal Anderson, who in Pittsburgh backed up the bust Jerome Bettis. Here he becomes a starting running back.
And they are concerned because the guy does have some speed. He's got some talent. He's got good vision. He can move, get around the corner. 225 pounds is a load coming around the corner. And that particular play there, Teddy Bruschi underestimated really his speed. He took the inside angle, and he should have gone around the corner.
3rd down and 2. Carolina at the 44. Empty backfield. Hoover goes in motion. Winkie fires it back. Intercepted on the play. It's picked off by Ty Law, and he'll be in a foot race with Steve Smith into the end zone. His 2nd touchdown on an interception this season. The 5th of his career.
consistent ground game. They got to throw the football, and this is a bad thing that happens when you throw the football. Ty Law sneaks inside. Smith's on the outside. A lack of communication between the quarterback and wide receiver. Bottom line, Winky is a rookie and makes mistakes, but I think they should have run the football and not had that kind of mistake from him. They put him in a bad position there.
The 17th interception for Chris Winky, the extra point good by Vinatieri.
Law's made a living making big plays. The Law rules out there on the outside, telling Mr. Winky, watch where you put it in the air.
Carolina coach George Seifert on the hot seat. Rumors abounding here that Steve Spurrier may take his place as early as tomorrow. The ensuing kickoff after the Ty Law interception for a touchdown. Steve Smith grabbed and brought down on the play by Gerard Cherry. A return of 12 yards.
You know what? There's pressure from the inside, first of all. He gets pressure on him in here. Law's going to sneak back, but roll back inside on a cover two. And because of that, there's somebody in the flat. And I don't think Winky really had time to see that and feel it. Law moved back and then rolled back into his cover two there and fools Winky, but the pressure on the inside. They don't give up a lot of sacks because Winky gets rid of it quick. Well, that's a mistake getting rid of it that quick that time.
Saying they hoodwinked him?
Yes, sir.
From the 26, first down and 10. And here comes Winky throwing outside. And it's tipped and intercepted here by Otis Smith, and that's returned for a touchdown. Can you believe it? And a flag is down on the play at the 27.
I think New England's going to be called for holding during the return. Well, not going like the old Panthers thought they wanted this thing to start out with.
As they continue to work it on the field now, they're waving it off, and it's Carolina's ball. But we have not got any word from Tom White until now.
After the interception and during the return, holding number 26, New England. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's a first down for New England.
Matt Stevens is 26. Otis Smith, the veteran, is robbed of the touchdown, but does get the interception.
Yeah, and again, here's the throw here that comes to the outside, gets deflected at the line of scrimmage here. They come from the outside. The ball's tipped on the outside. He can't come up with it. Smith makes the interception, but it's all, again, a function of Donald Hayes, 81, not being able to make the grab. They are just out of sync here. You see his footwork there. Winky not real sure of where he wants to go with the ball. He's indecisive right now, and that's costing him.
So at the 34-yard line after the Smith interception, it's an end around. Smith gives to Troy Brown. Brady with the block, and he's in the 30-yard line, brought down by Lester Towns. It's a gain of 4, setting up second down and 6. Brady is 6'4", and over 225 pounds. I mean, he looks like a tight end. He's a blocker as much as a quarterback.
Yeah, but he's thin. You know, either that or today's guys wearing these baggy blue jeans around. You know, you never know what it is.
Like he did yesterday.
Yeah, he you know, it looks like they're hanging barely on your fanny.
Second down and 6 from the 30. Antoine Smith diving ahead to the 27-yard line and picking up 3. Chris Jenkins brings him down along with Dan Morgan. Third down now coming up. About 3. Let's take a look at Chris Winky, who's thrown 2 interceptions already in this game for Carolina.
And it really does come down to being indecisive. You see his footwork or lack of, how he's moving around. He's not sure where he's supposed to go. New England came out that last time. They had 4 linebackers instead of 3. They changed things up, and that's creating a lot of question marks in Winky's mind.
J.R. Redmond in the backfield, 27-yard line, 3rd and 3. Redmond the call. Dan Morgan, the rookie, wraps him up and brings him down at the 26-yard line. Now it'll be 4th down and about 2.5 perhaps to to go, and Bill Belichick with the decision, and it looks like it's to go for it on 4th and 2.
Yeah, you know, when they put those arms up like that muscle man, that's called tough formation. Bring it in, let's just go for it. Dan Morgan, though, who made that play, one of the few bright spots that they have right now going for him. Morgan is a guy they feel like can work with and build around on that defense.
Smith is back in, 4th down and 2, outside the Carolina 25. In motion came Rutledge, and the dive by Smith. We'll have to see if it's good for the first down. He had to get to the 24. Brought down by Jenkins and Rucker. As they unravel the pile. It's inside the 24, yeah.
I'm already with a hot dog with you on this
Around
one.
Here, yeah.
Right. Let me make the first call. Poor Tom White made the deal. I love this wham block. Watch, Rutledge comes to the inside. Wham! He gets a block. They get north and south. And again, this is the beauty of having Antoine Smith in the backfield. It's a power game. Not a lot of footwork, fancy work. Belichick wanted that, and it gives them an attitude and an opportunity on 4th down.
On the 23, first down and 10. Smith in the backfield, and with the handoff. Blocked by Brown, but fighting through it nicely on the play was Jimmy Hitchcock. He makes the stop. He was with New England from 95 through 97, starting 20 games, so he knows the Patriots and what they're all about.
And the defense also knows that if they can get Antoine Smith outside the tackle box and make him go sideline to sideline, he's nowhere near as effective. This is a downhill runner, tackle to tackle, break tackles, especially with field conditions as they are today. This is a down the middle of the football field. They ought to wear the middle of this field out before it's over.
21-yard line. Second down and 8. Redmond in the backfield, passes a receiver. They dump off a screen pass with the block by Andruzzi. Goes to Redmond, twisting and twirling to the 4. And it's a first down. A gain of 17 yards on the play. Joe Andruzzi with the nice block. And open up things for Redmond. First and goal, New England.
Yeah, you know what? This is a nice compliment here. You see Compton and Woody in the offensive line get out there. Compton right there on the backside probably gets away with an illegal block in the back right here. Woody and these guys down the field blocking. Hard running by J.R. Redmond. A nice job of coordination and the timing of this offense. You see the Patriots getting down the field. Joe Andruzzi, one of those guys leading the blocks. And J.R. Redmond, a pretty good compliment to the power guy and Antoine Smith.
Richard Seymour in the backfield. First and goal at the 4. And here comes Smith, submarining to the 2, brought down by Towns on a gain of 2. Yeah, they bring in the rookie defensive lineman who is a starter, Richard Seymour, to be the lead blocker on certain situations like this right here.
Oh, that's a lot of poundage. You know, you're talking about bringing some meat up in there. And Dan Morgan, linebacker with Panthers, said we have to take away the cutback of Antoine Smith. He's a smart football player, this young man. I like him. I like what he does out there. And he's smart in knowing to watch that cutback and the cutback with power.
Now Seymour becomes a tight end. Second and goal at the 2. Rutledge with the block for Edwards, who is wrapped up by Doug Evans, and no gain on the play. Doug Evans, 33, the ex-Green Bay Packer. Well, last time the Patriots were in this territory on offense, they had to settle for 3 after there was a penalty on Mike Compton, the guard, wiping out a touchdown run by Harris.
Yeah, this is designed with Rutledge coming in here. He's going to wham. He's got to stay this side of it. Edwards goes the other way. He goes on the other side of the wham. The play is back to the inside. You can't go outside where the wham block's occurring.
Seymour in the backfield again. Third and goal at the 2. And again they go to Antoine Smith at the pile, push him past. Looks like he's short again, just inside the 1. So it's once again decision time for Coach Bill Belichick, who probably has done as masterful a job, as we said, to begin the game in reconstructing this team from last year's 5-11 mark to now 10-5 this year.
The number one thing Belichick has done in my mind is that he's had discipline with guys like Terry Glenn. He's been consistent. He's been hard-nosed, old-fashioned leadership, and it's worked for him.
Fourth and goal at the 1. Seymour the block. A fumble on the play, and it's loose. And looks to be recovered by Carolina. Have the New England, yes they have. The New England Patriots have again given up a great possibility to score in the red zone. And this time they fumble it away as Smith fumbles for the 4th time this season.
You know, it's the old hat right on the football. He gets hit right as he's coming across the line of scrimmage. The ball goes down, and for the Carolina Panthers, one of those rare breaks goes their way.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Acura MDX, taking the SUV to a place it's never been before. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Well, they say cats have 9 lives, and New England has seen that Carolina's burned a couple. Antoine Smith just fumbling, 3rd time in the red zone this year. And so on that turnover, after the Otis Smith interception, 1st and 10 from the 1, Wenke hands off to Huntley with the block, and a run, and accelerates past the 15 up to the 18-yard line. Brought down by Lawyer Malloy after a 17-yard run by Richard Huntley.
You know what? That's what you think. 3rd and 1 while ago when he throws the interception for the touchdown. I mean, those are things that just make you scratch your head. Like, why didn't they run the ball like that when they had 3rd and 1?
Wenke's already thrown 2 interceptions today. 1 returned for a touchdown. It could have been 2 returned for a touchdown, but a penalty called the second one back. On the 18, 1st and 10, Huntley again. Running outside, and trapped as it crosses the 30-yard line by Bruschi and Roman Pfeiffer. A gain of 13 yards on the heels of a 17-yard gain for Richard Huntley. So New England today has had a touchdown run called back because of a penalty. They've had a touchdown interception by Otis Smith called back because of a penalty. They've been in the red zone twice, and they've had to settle for only 1 score. That was a field goal. Ty Law returned an interception for a touchdown, thus 10-0 New England. From the 31, 1st and 10, Huntley has authored this drive. Play action, Huntley blocks Hamilton. It goes outside to Hoover, who breaks a tackle and is busted out of bounds by Teddy Bruschi. At the 42, a gain of 11. This team was marooned at their 1-yard line a couple plays ago. Now they've had gains of 17, 13, and 11 yards to find some breathing space.
Does that maroon mean stranded?
For you Texans, yes, that means stranded.
They were hunkered down at their 1-yard line. Hey, those are some big plays, and the Patriots are trying to figure out. They've gone back to their starting defensive unit, taking Cox and Thompson out with Bruschi in the middle.
1st and 10, Carolina at their 43. Wenke to Huntley. Dancing a bit, not much there. Mike Vrabel makes the stop after a 1-yard gain. A very exciting first quarter. New England on top 10-0. We're back in Dank, Charlotte. Kevin Harlan and Craig James and Beasley Reese patrolling the sidelines for us. A wild first quarter. 2 red zone opportunities for the New England Patriots. Only 3 points. So we begin the second down and 9. With the Carolina Panthers at their 44-yard line. Some first quarter thoughts.
First quarter right now, what I'm watching is the New England Patriots defense. More than likely this team wins this football game. Now you start looking at the Patriots and what can they do long term. Playoffs are just around the corner. And giving up big chunks of yards on the ground is not going to get you very far in the playoffs.
First play of the second quarter. 2nd down and 9. Wenke winding up down the sideline. Going deep for Hayes. Broken up beautifully with no yellow on the field by veteran Otis Smith. He's bounced around the league, in fact, on and off the roster for the New England Patriots, but a big play right there as we check in with Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, Kevin, the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs, all set. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, coming off the loss to the Bengals, now trailing the Browns 7-0. Jamel White scores here in the rain-snow mix there in Pittsburgh. 7-0 Browns. Now let's go back to Kevin and Craig.
Thank you very much, Jim. Browns come in at 7 and 8, but they're near the bottom in almost every offensive category, so a good sign for them with an early touchdown. 3rd down and 9. Wenke has to scramble. Chased by McGinnis. The pass downfield caught by the twisting and turning wide receiver Steve Smith. A penalty flag is down back at the 36. It's a penalty against the Carolina Panthers, wiping out a 16-yard gain for Coach George Seifert. It's been that kind of season.
Personal foul. Face mask. number 70. It's a 15-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Well, Chris Terry getting called for a little face mask. More than likely got out of position, and as soon as he broke the pocket and moved to the right side, Terry had to reach up and do a little bit of holding. Instead of holding Jersey, he got masked. But I like them getting Smith involved. You know what? I mean, they're looking for guys to replace Muhammad, a big play guy. Well, Steve Smith is a talented football player. Get him involved.
He's dynamite. He's just a rookie with a great future ahead. Back to the 29 with the penalty. Third down and 24 for Winky. Handoff to Huntley. Gigantic hole with the jumpers block past the 45 and moves the pile to the 48-yard line before he is brought down by New England's defense, led by Roman Pfeiffer. And to Bucky Jones, who's put together a nice month of play in the secondary for Belichick's New England Patriots. An 18-yard gain, but short of the first down. They had to get to the 47. So now here comes Todd Sauerbrunn to punt. His 500th career punt. He leads the league in punting, and he boots this up into the fog. And it's caught by Brown inside the 15-yard line. A 39-yard punt by the best punter in the NFL. And a timeout. Rainy Charlotte here in the Carolinas, and up the East Coast today, Kevin Harlan, Craig James, Beasley Reese. Patriots have had 2 touchdowns called back because of penalty. After the Carolina punt, first down and 10 at the 14 for quarterback Tom Brady. And it goes off to Antoine Smith, who is gang tackled by an avalanche of Panthers, including Deion Grant and Mike Minner. It's a gain on the play of 6, and setting up second down and 4. Next till halftime is on deck. Jim and the gang, scores and highlights, and a preview of the Jets-Oakland game. That is huge out of Northern California today. All coming up on the next till halftime report from New York. Brady throwing today, 6 of 8. Second down and 4 from the 20-yard line. Rutledge on the move. Brady winding up, going deep, looking for Patton. He's got separation. He can't get the pass. Incomplete. He was a stride for stride with Jimmy Hitchcock on the sideline. Incomplete pass. Third down and 4.
You talk about a guy stretching it. They've hooked up for a 91-yard touchdown reception this season. This is a real stretch player. Troy Brown's a good third down receiver. He's a guy that makes plays, but there's no question here. Patton's taken off. He's on his horse. Hitchcock better turn and burn because Brady really outthrew him, and that's hard to imagine that he has that strong an arm outthrowing Patton.
Redmond in the backfield, third down and 4 from the 20. Outside it goes, leaping catch by Brown. Swarmed under and brought down. They may have had a first down with the lunge. Let's see where the spot is. Mike Minner was there, Doug Evans. And if this is any indication, he's got it with ease. Yep, he does, by more than a yard. Third and 4, he picks up 5. Let's go back to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, thank you. Speaking of ease, it's all tied now at Pittsburgh. Fu'u Matu Ma'afalo. Need I say more? 7-7, updating the NFC side. The Bears with a field goal, trying to hold off the Packers today to win that NFC Central. Green Bay up over the Giants, who got on the board with a Hilliard touchdown. Owens has scored twice for the 49ers. Back to you.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. On first and 10, it's Antoine Smith head over heels up to the 27-yard line and a gain of 3. Last 1,000-yard rusher the Patriots had. No, not Craig James. Robert Edwards back in 98.
Yeah, they really have. They've been looking for a dependable guy to come in here and run the football, and that's why Tom Brady's having so much success. Make no doubt about that. Mistake about it at all, because he doesn't have to carry the team with his arm.
Second and a long 7 at the 26. Brady. Nice block by Robinson Randall. Outside it goes. Maybe it been deflected. It looks so wobbly. Incomplete pass. Third and 7 coming up. And Beasley, what do you have?
Well, you know what, guys, I'm walking around here, no exaggeration, probably 40% of the fans here are in New England gear from New England. And up 10-0 right now, they're already chanting, "Let's go Jets." You guys know why. If the Jets beat Oakland, they get a first-round bye. So many New England fans here. It sounds like almost like a home field advantage for the Patriots.
It's a good crew. It's third down, long 7 at the 26. Redmond with the block. Brady hit, fumbles the ball, and it's loose, and he covers it up. Preston Buckner covers him. And New England has got a punt.
And the ball gets slapped out of his hand from the right side. They come with pressure from the top over there, so they shift and make the adjustment. Here they come. Here comes your pressure from the outside right here. He comes in, slaps the ball. Michael Rucker. Rucker, one of the guys who's been dependable, been on the defensive line all season. Rucker, a guy that they believe they truly can build around on the defensive line. You got Morgan at linebacker, Towns at linebacker. There's some players here. Rucker, one of them.
Ex-Carolina Panther, current Patriot, Ken Walter to punt, one of the best hang times in the NFL. Smith, backpedal. He fumbles the ball, and it's picked up on the side by Rashard Anderson. And a 46-yard punt picked up by number 46, there to save the day for the Panthers, up to the 32-yard line. And we've got a timeout from Charlotte. Not only are Patriot fans good and strong for their team, they're also smart. After the New England punt, 1st and 10 for Winkie at the 33, going outside. That ball is out of the reach of running back Richard Huntley. 2nd down and 10. Bobby Hamilton was there. 2 of 7 throwing Winkie today with 2 interceptions. Log on to NFL.com. See why Phil Simms says there's no such thing as backing into the playoffs. If you're in, you're in. Check it out at NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com.
Yeah, but you can mosey in there and not be on a rhythm. You know, like look at the Oakland Raiders, Jets. There's a couple teams that might mosey in there without some momentum.
33, 2nd down and 10. The pitch out to Huntley. Nice block by Terry. He's in the secondary of the Patriots and finally brought down by Pfeiffer and Stevens. Up to the 45 and a 1st down and a run of 12 yards for Richard Huntley, who has been spectacular today with 72 yards on 7 carries.
Yeah, you know what? And here's the guy. Here's Brewski. Watch Brewski try to make the run to get them around to the outside. Mitchell 60 gets right inside. Look at this block. He's got 2 lanes he can go to, but wonderful job of executing and getting Jeff Mitchell to the outside. The Patriots right now just aren't coming off their blocks. They're getting beat up front.
35-yard line, 1st and 10. Huntley again, and why not? This time, though, Hamilton got him. Then slipping away is Huntley. A foot race with Smith, breaks that tackle. Down the sideline, exceptional running by Richard Huntley. He's at the 30-yard line, picks up 25 yards, and he's already over 100 yards in this game. Single-handedly keeping the Carolina Panthers breathing. Up 97 yards officially for today.
You know what? There's just not a lot of sick'em right now on that Patriots defense. They're just not getting to the ball carrier and not wrapping up, not finishing the play. Outside, Huntley doesn't give up. Nice job of everybody getting out, playing, and helping him out. But Huntley's running at will right now and with great ease.
Huntley is down. Cooper remains the fullback. 1st down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Winkie looking at his options. He's got great time to throw. Now here comes Pleasant. There goes the pass, and it's incomplete down the side to Patrick Jeffords. Coverage by Ty Law. 14 consecutive losses for Carolina coming into today.
Oh, that's an ugly go. But you know what? It wasn't that long ago when New England did the same thing. 1990, they had 14 straight losses too. So Patriots fans certainly can sympathize with what the Panther fans are going through right now, and it can turn around. But this is a young organization. They're young on the field. They're injured, so it's going to be a long road back.
2nd down and 10 from the 30. Huntley is back in and gets the pitch. Astucci block, and a block by Hoover, and then a gang tackle by Hamilton and Mitchell and company for the New England Patriots to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of about 2 on the play. Here's Bobby Hamilton, the ex-New York Jet. So the Patriots have seen George Seifert's team run the ball effectively here in the 1st half.
Yes, they have. You know, it makes you wonder. I'm going to go back to that. That 3rd and 1 decision to throw the ball to the flat, they should have run the football.
3rd down and 9 from the 29. Winkie, Astucci block, and a dump off to Huntley with open field to roam. He's inside the 10, down to the 5, and brought down by Pro Bowler Lawyer Malloy. A 23-yard pickup. 1st and goal, Carolina.
You know, this again is recognition on the Patriots' part. A lot of times the Patriots, they confuse what's happening on the blocking of the offensive line. But at this point here, because of the ground game, The linebacker's not really in the game yet for the Patriots, and Huntley comes sneaking out of the pack there of blockers. He had hung in there in the backfield, chip blocking, snuck out over the middle, and wonderful execution on their part.
Nick Goings is now in for Huntley. First and goal at the 6. Goings gets the call. A block by Hoover, and he twists and turns his way down to the 3-yard line. So on this drive by Richard Huntley, finishing up what has been a terrific drive, the New England Patriots have allowed him big yards. But for Carolina, 2 gains by Huntley, over 20 yards for the first time, Craig, in 8 quarters, which is unheard of in the NFL.
So in other words, they got to form them dink and dunk offenses that you sometimes portray?
That's right.
Yeah?
Huntley is back in. Second down and goal at the 3. Huntley trying to carve his way inside, and Hamilton is there with Pfeiffer and Brewster. Now, third down and goal.
Patriots, you know, when you talk about their red zone defense, one of the things they've been able to do is create opportunities and turnovers in the red zone. And when you get a tired running back, and I see them taking out Huntley right now, and that's a smart move because a tired running back in short yardage goal line makes mistakes.
Well, you should know.
Very smart.
You've been in that position before.
Yeah, and so I don't understand it, but so many times coaches are reluctant to take out their star running back when he gets tired. They should do it more often.
9th play of the drive, empty backfield, third and goal at the 3, and Winky's going to burn a timeout. Big play coming up for the Carolina Panthers, who are getting shut out 10-0 by New England.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chrysler. Drive equals love. Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular. And by Subway. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway. Eat fresh.
After a Carolina timeout from the 3-yard line, third and goal at the 3. Empty backfield for Chris Winky. Winky can run the ball in, has more rushing touchdowns for a quarterback than anyone in the NFL. But here comes Willie McGinnis and devours him at the 12-yard line. His 5th sack of the season. The 50th of his career, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, he's on the outside, and they're going to bring Mangum. He's going to try to log it so they can roll to the outside with Winky and move the pocket. But Mangum can't quite get around there. You see 86 Mangum come in there. McGinnis beats him underneath. A poor job of angling by the tight end Mangum. He missed his assignment there with McGinnis.
First sack given up in a couple games by Carolina. A 29-yard field goal try by John Casey, who missed both his tries last week, and he nails this one. So the Patriots shutout is gone, and Carolina clawing back down by 7. For the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. So after the field goal by John Casey, the kickoff by Todd Sauerbrunn, and it will be Falk at the 16-yard line. Kevin Falk running outside, a Pfeiffer block, the Matt Stevens block, and he's to the 31-yard line. 17-yard return. Another look at the New England offense coming up.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Gateway, where you've got a friend in the business. And by the United States Postal Service.
7-point game. Patriots on top. 2 touchdowns have been called back because of penalties for New England. 2 red zone opportunities, only 3 points for the Patriots.
Well, right now, you know, Carolina's weathered the storm. You know, New England's offense has to bail their defense out right now. They need to start tackling and wrapping up in New England. New England's defense has got to get it going on here. Or Carolina at home, you don't want to let the sleeping dog, hang around a little bit longer. He'll be finding a milk bone before it's over with.
Weather might be evening the field just a bit. Compton will snap it, and they shotgun on first and 10 from the 31. Low snap picked up by Brady. Rips a pass outside, which is caught by Fred Coleman. Only his second catch of the season, and it's a gain of 4. He's up to the 35-yard line. Terry Glenn did not make the trip. He is back in New England.
Missed a little practice, an excused absence for a while this week. And again, there have been several distractions that Bill Belichick has had to deal with this year, and that's why I admire him so much. You know, if it weren't for Dick Duran and how much success he's had in Chicago, I think Belichick would be a good candidate for Coach of the Year.
Second down and 6. And the pitch out at the 35 goes for no gain, and Antoine Smith, who has had 4 100-yard games this season, but today has fumbled at the 1. That turned it over.
And, you know, Carolina's allowed 7 100-yard rushers this season. So you think all of that blends together where they're going to come out here and run the ball, but trying to get around the corners with Antoine Smith is playing right into the hands of Carolina. The interior, tackle to tackle, is going to have to get it done by New England on the offensive line.
J.R. Redmond is checked in. Compton will have the shotgun snap. Third down and 6 from the 35. Oh, everybody's moving. Here comes Rucker. They go to whistle. Colts on top of Denver. High-scoring game. Green Bay and the Giants, you just saw. Tennessee on top of Cincinnati. And the same Arizona and Washington.
How about Arizona? Dave McGinnis going to get his ball club maybe to 8-8.
Wouldn't that be shocking? Yep. The way they started the season. Dallas and Detroit.
Offsides. Number 93 defense. Unabated to the quarterback. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Mike Rucker called. Now it becomes third down and 1, which is a lot different than it was before, 3rd and 6.
Another little small item that Tom Brady has in his arsenal, that hard barking count. You know, a lot of young guys don't think about that kind of stuff.
Brady on the quarterback keeper. May have picked up the first down as he tried to pry his way into that defensive line. Let's see where they mark it. He has to get up past the 41. He gets it easy. So the Patriots trying to put something together for Coach Bill Belichick. A guy that New England, you may recall, going back, gave up a first-round draft choice to the Jets so they could sign him. One of the rare transactions you will see in the NFL. 4:12 to play here in the second quarter. A timeout has been taken by New England. Brady will have it 1st and 10 when we come back. Thursday on CBS. This is it, the final episode. Find out who will be voted the ultimate survivor in the dramatic 2-hour finale. And stay tuned for a live reunion featuring all 16 survivors together for the first time. Beginning at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, Thursday here on CBS. After the New England timeout, 1st and 10. And Antoine Smith rumbling down the middle to the 49-yard line. And a 9-yard gain tackled by Mike Minner in the secondary. Close to a first down.
Oh, boy, you know, watch this wham block that comes inside here. And he's got to stay to the outside of it. He cuts down. Mark Edwards does a beautiful job of cutting Al Lucas, a defensive tackle, and Antoine Smith. That's the north-south game I'm looking for. That's what you got to have if you're New England right now.
Second down and 1. There's a look at Edwards playing the wingback. And this time Smith sent up the middle and nothing there. Jaron Hambrick, who led the Dallas Cowboys in tackles a season ago, cut this past October. Vacuumed in by Carolina. Now starts at linebacker here.
You know what? This is the cutback area over here. This is where he has to stay. Don't cut back. There's no cut back there. He's got to stay play side, right up the middle of the field. He's not a dancing back. And I know he's not trying to become a dancing fullback, halfback, but that play right there, understanding the down and distance, using your power straight ahead, that's what he has to accomplish.
Third down, long 2. Redmond is in, 49-yard line. Brady, with the rush coming on, sets up a screen out of the reach of Redmond. Incomplete pass. So New England's got to punt again. You know, there was a concern among people that watch this team on a daily basis. Is it possibly too much time off this time of the year? Your team's on a roll. You've won 5 consecutive games. For a developing team like this to be off now for 15 days between games.
And I believe, and not only I believe, statistically, teams coming off a bye week, they just have a hard go of it. They don't win that often. And when you're playing as well as they were, you don't want to take time off.
Walters punt. They're caught 15-yard line by by Steve Smith, the 36-yard boot. And Carolina gets it back. Now our NFL poll. Who would you pick as this year's NFL MVP? You see the name? Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com.
I'm going to go Marshall Faulk. And knowing you, here's how you do it. You just kind of circle everybody.
No. I'm going to be different. I'm going to go with Brett Favre. If he wins today in New York, he's my MVP.
Well, they're up right now.
They are.
I like that. At least this season I've accomplished one thing. I don't let you straddle the fence and just circle everybody's name.
I won't do it either. After the punt by the Patriots, Carolina 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Richard Huntley over 100 yards on the ground, takes it again into the teeth of the New England defense. Otis Smith is there along with Bobby Hamilton, gain of 4, spotted at the 18-yard line. How is that field? Let's first of all take a look at this, where they rank last in virtually every significant category in the NFL.
And these aren't far from the bottom, and I guess that's why you say, when you're down and you've lost 14 games in a row, you end up being last in most categories.
I'm going to ask about the field in a second. 2nd down and 6 from the 18. Huntley in the backfield. Hayes at the top of your screen in motion. And outside it goes to Richard Huntley. One-on-one with Roman Pfeiffer, the veteran who played it well and brings him down in a gain of about a yard to the 19-yard line. And how is the field today? It's mushy in the sky. Is it mushy down there?
I was down there prior to the game doing the NFL report, the insert for the NFL Today, and I'm telling you, it was wet. It was mushy. And that's why I don't think there's going to be much success that happens outside the hashes.
We've reached the 2-minute warning. Timeout. Coming up in the next halftime report, Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry scores, highlights, a report from the Jets and Oakland matchup. All next on the Nextel halftime report. Kevin Harlan, Craig James, and a soaking wet Beasley Reese in Charlotte, 3rd and a long 6. If the Patriots win, they win the division. Right now, they are staggering from the 18-yard line. Winky across the middle, and that's caught by Donald Hayes, who weaves his way up to the 33 for a 1st down. It's a gain of 14 on 3rd down and a long 6.
And this all comes along. Look at the inside. Look how they cross the inside, the pickup, the protection's there. Donald Hayes comes across the inside of the field. It's just a little leak route coming across the middle. And that's all a result of this Panthers offensive line protecting Winky, giving him time to throw the football.
Carolina's got a couple timeouts. 43, make it 33-yard line. 1st and 10. Huntley.
That's good.
Breaks the tackle, then dives ahead to the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play. And the tackle made by Vrabel. And Carolina will burn another timeout, so they've got 1 left. And we'll pause as well. Big day for Richard Huntley of the Panthers.
One of the things that the Patriots are trying to accomplish right now on defense is better tackling. Beasley, you just can't show up at a game and figure in the second quarter you're going to flip the switch on, can you?
No, I think these defenders kind of took the attitude that this Carolina team would eventually give up. It's not happening. They've got to come up and play with some real attitude to tackle.
2nd down and 7 from the 36 for Chris Winky. Pocket crumbling. He's on the run. Fires a pass incomplete. He was looking for Steve Smith. Pressure was by McGinnis and Anthony Pleasant. Now it'll be 3rd down and 7.
One of the things Tom Brady says is the reason he's successful is that he knows where he's going with the ball. He's decisive. That play right there, Chris Winky. Winky got back, had protection. They came on the outside corner. Somebody's open, and he just didn't seem like he saw it. It was like he was confused. Where do I go with the ball? He's 5 of 12 on the day.
3rd down and 7. 36-yard line. Winky down the middle and incomplete to Hayes. Incomplete pass. And they got a punt again. That wasn't even close.
You lose 14 games in a row. A lot of that has to fall on the shoulders of a quarterback who's young. He doesn't make plays. Sometimes he makes the plays. That time the protection again there. And Winky told us in our meeting, he said, you know what? There are days where I'm just off. I'm just awful. I can't hit anybody, and I know it. And I would tell you right now, if you asked him, he'd probably agree with us. He's off right now.
Pro Bowler Todd Sauerbrunn lost this to Brown, who will signal forward. There's a lot of fair catch back at the 19-yard line. A 45-yard punt. Patriots will have 56 seconds on the clock with which to work and a couple of timeouts. And coming Tuesday, January 15th on CBS, the creator of JAG brings you a new drama that dares you to go inside the Supreme Court. It's First Monday. Don't miss the series premiere Tuesday, January 15th on CBS.
That's a pretty good number right there. You know, this team knows how to run a 2-minute offense, and Carolina better be on their toes right here because 56 seconds is a lot of time for a guy who manages the game well like Brady.
Compton will snap it in the shotgun. Brady, 19-yard line. Redmond in the backfield. Redmond gets the toss. There's one block. Another by Compton. Finally, Dan Morgan, the rookie, brings him down after a first down catch and run to the 31-yard line, a gain of 12.
Woo-hoo. Did Joe Andruzzi get him some? Huh? Put him on defense right now because that dude's out there hitting people.
31-yard line, clock at 35 seconds, 2 timeouts for New England. Compton snap again. And Brady fires a pass, which is low and caught by Brown. And for Brown today, after that gain of 8, 4 catches, he is the all-time single-season receiving leader in the history of the New England Patriots. Now with 99 catches this year. Not bad. Yet he didn't make the Pro Bowl. He is an alternate, but he did not make it, which is shocking to me that he's as good as there is in the NFL.
He's an alternate, you know, and it's a step in that direction, and his teammates really supported. They were disappointed that Troy Brown wasn't allowed to get there. One of the guys who is going is Tom Brady. Brady's talked to us about his mechanics. He's trying to shorten his stride, so when he gets to the back, when he lets the ball go, he's trying to shorten his stride and not have a long, drawn-out stride. He's trying to get the same point of release. So as a young quarterback, he's gone beyond getting comfortable with the game plan and what needs to take place. He's really now focusing and honing in on getting better with his mechanics.
And to think that he was the number 4 quarterback last year in back of course, the starter, Drew Bledsoe, who is hale and hearty and on the sideline ready to go, but John Freese, Michael Bishop, and then Brady was number 4.
And he was kind of they said a skinny kid, not on mother. He put some weight on in the offseason, and they started seeing progress and development in the spring quarterback schools. They started seeing what he was doing there. And when you talk about this number right here, 64% of your completions, to me, that says the guy knows where he's going. He's not screwing up. He only has 10 interceptions on the season to 17 touchdown passes. That's a good ratio.
Tom White has stopped the clock. We're going to review the catch and see if indeed Troy Brown was able to lasso the pass from Brady.
Well, what it seemed like what Brown did was he kind of eased back in, knowing he was going to get popped from the inside. So the question is whether or not they can have conclusive evidence here. Initially, it looks like he had it. Full speed looks like he had it. But you see how he laid back down knowing that he was getting ready to get popped, which was smart and aware of where the safety was coming from. There's nothing there yet that would give them enough evidence to overturn the ruling on the field. About 33% of challenges are overturned.
We will review the ruling on the field, whether this is a catch or an incomplete pass.
Well, I tell you there, I saw a little ball hit the ground. That looked like a little bit of grass right there.
We continue this talk on Tom Brady. He was a 6th-round pick out of Michigan, and you talk about a lot of the obstacles this franchise had to face. Their quarterbacks coach, 45-year-old Dick Rabine, heart attack, passing away during training camp, but it was on his suggestion and his scouting that the team drafted Tom Brady. And once Brady was in the fold last year, the late Dick Rabine worked with this man endlessly, and part of his success is due in part to what Dick Rabine did with him in those very developing days as the New England Patriots. So the success of Brady lingers on because of what Rabine did.
And you know who has picked the baton up and carrying it for him now is Drew Bledsoe, helping to tutor him and mentor for him. An unselfish football player, I promise you. People in New England know this. If Bledsoe had taken a different approach to the way he's handled this situation, this New England Patriots football team wouldn't be playing for the East title today. It would have been disastrous. He took the high road with a lot of class and integrity, and because of that, Brady's been able to play the game. And in regards to that review, I think Tom White's going to reverse this call. I think the ball hit the ground.
The pass is incomplete. It hit the ground before he possessed the ball. It'll be 2nd down. Please reset the game clock. to 28 seconds, please.
You owe me 2 hot dogs.
You
now,
are
Chief.
right again. Man, oh, man.
And I'll eat both of them at halftime.
No, you won't.
Hot dog, a little ketchup, mustard, and relish.
So there's a look at Troy Brown. 9th-year player, a former 8th-round draft choice in the NFL, and he's already taken the single-season record away from Coates, and he went to high school here in the Carolinas. He's from Blacksville, South Carolina, not too far from here, actually. And he's playing back home, so to speak, with this New England ball club in this beautiful stadium, which is maybe a third full today. And I was talking with Bob Kraft, the owner, before the game, and he was telling me that if you think this is nice, you should see the brand new stadium we are building in Foxborough, which has the best sight lines. What NFL people tell me, the best sight lines of any stadium being built right now.
There's some gorgeous facilities that's going on around the NFL.
Oh my gosh.
Baseball's got them going on, the NBA, a lot of really pretty coliseums being built, and I can't wait to see a game in New England.
Well, then of course the infrastructure is here. They've got the ownership. The rumors about Steve Spurrier coming to Carolina are red hot in the Carolinas. He used to coach at Duke. He's got relatives in the area, and he has been in Charlotte this past week for some other things aside from Panther football. But with all that being said, George Seifert told us yesterday he wants to come back. He and the ownership were on the same page in really junking what they had before, going very young and trying to get that salary cap and the age of the team back in line.
And on top of the youth of this team, they've had injuries. So you add all of that up, and I don't care who the coach is, Spurrier or you bring any coach you want on this team. If you don't have players, you can't win.
Well, I'm not sure why they are discussing anything but the clock, but I assume that is the main consideration right now.
And normally,
after the completion, the Patriots did take a timeout.
and you know what? And this is one of the things that the referee has to look for once he's inside the peep tank there is, the clock, too. That's 28 seconds right there. You can see it down here on the bottom. There's your 27. So, they're going to try to make a determination as what should be on the clock.
Tom White has had an interesting history with this. He's the guy that got confused on downs. Remember in a game last year in Pittsburgh. And now they're going to call up, and this is the right thing to do, to call the observer upstairs and have them go over it as well.
Well, I'll tell you where they're failing here right now. The system's failing because it's holding the game up. Yeah. It's extending the game, and they try to get in and out of what's going on when they take instant replay and go to the booth. And, again, they reviewed this. It's 27 seconds. It should go to 27 seconds on the scoreboard here. 27 seconds left in the half. Get a little workout, isn't he? Huh? He's going to want one of my hot dogs. Can't have it, Tom.
Well, last week, Craig, you and I saw the Buffalo Bills beat the Jets. Could Carolina have the same thing in mind over the Patriots today? Stranger things have happened. And we thought we would never see what we saw last week, you and I, in the Meadowlands.
And it's a fact. The longer you let this team hang around, the more encouraged they are to play hard through 4 quarters. And, they said they had good practices during the week. Of course, you see they had good practices prior to Arizona last week, and they laid an egg on the field. So, yeah, this is a team that they will be more motivated in the second half knowing their season is over with, and they get on about the offseason.
The ball is placed at the 31-yard line. Second down, 28 seconds.
And he's right. And that's exactly what it should be. 28 seconds, 31-yard line, and it should be second down and 10.
But that should have all happened about 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Well, you don't know what they're going through. He's got a headache or something. I don't know. Second down and 10. Brady winding up, fires a pass, and it's caught at midfield. David Patton on a foot race takes it inside the Carolina 45 to the 44. It's a gain of 25. The clock at 18 seconds. And New England will burn their final timeout. They're not quite in field goal range yet.
When he comes across, when David Patton gets to the middle of the field, first of all, there's good protection. The Panthers dropped 8 into coverage. Now when they come across the middle of the field, the opening is going to be back in here. There's a void coming to the middle. He's leaking his way back to. The linebackers are much, much shallower than they are. But because of the time to throw the football, they were able to extend the route, get further down the field, and allowing Patton to come up because Tom Brady looked like a shortstop throwing the ball over to first base. Hop, hop, wham, and let it go.
Again in this game, New England has scored twice. A 20-yard field goal from Vinatieri, a Ty Law touchdown on an interception. But New England, 2 things are standing out. Twice in the red zone, only 3 points, and 2 touchdowns called back today in the first half because of penalty. So at the Carolina 44, no timeouts, first and 10. Griffin in the backfield with Brady. Moves up nicely. Rifles a pass downfield. Intercepted and picked off on the play by Deion Grant with 9 seconds remaining. Grant's 4th interception of the season. And the second New England turnover today. Brady tosses his 11th interception of the season.
All right, 8 guys drop into coverage. There's a safety in the middle of the field who comes over on the outside. Coleman's there, but a beautiful job coming up, making the interception, making sure you finish the play by Deion Grant, getting it up the sidelines, and obviously for Carolina, stopping an offense that we showed you and told you about that has had a lot of success in a 2-minute offense. Another confidence builder.
Both those interceptions by Brady thrown in Carolina territory. 37-yard line, 1 timeout for Carolina. Winky winding up, going short, underneath, caught by Hoover, racing out of bounds at the 44. 2 seconds remaining. So with no wind, do you bring Sauerbrunn in to try a long field goal or Casey, or you just go to the end zone and take your chances on a Hail Mary toss?
I'd like to see an attempt because it'd be 61 yards if he did it. But I don't think that. I'd just Hail Mary, throw it up in the end zone, see if you can get something.
Sauerbrunn kicks the long field goals, and Casey kicks anything from about 52 yards in. But Sauerbrunn can knock it in from Clemson.
Well, that's where he'd be kicking from.
Yeah,
and this would qualify as a long field goal.
Patriots have 2 players up and 9 back. Here comes the rush. Brady fumbles the ball, and they blow it down. They say he threw the ball incomplete, and the half is over. And now we've got some shoving after the play with Willie McGinnis and Geno James, an offensive lineman. What a confusing end to a weird first half here in Charlotte.
Hey, you got 1 pass rusher. McGinnis comes on the outside over here. Now, how in the world can you not get some protection for that?
That's a fumble.
I don't understand it.
I don't either. They say, because Tom White was saying he threw the ball. That was his motion. But watch this.
He fumbled the ball as his arm was coming forward in a tucked position. That's what he called, and that's what he saw. That's what he saw as he pump faked it right there.
Oh, but
that's
you know what?
Fake.
Looks like he was set though again. I don't know.
That's a fumble.
That's right down the middle, downstairs to Beasley Reese.
All right, I'm with Coach Belichick. Coach, Carolina's hanging in there. What are you going to tell your players?
Well, we had 2 touchdowns called back by penalties there in the first quarter and lost another chance inside the red zone. So we're going to have to finish the drives and play a little bit better on defense against the running game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, in a must game for the New England Patriots to win the division. They lead only 10-3 at halftime. Back in foggy Charlotte with the Carolina Panthers trailing the New England Patriots 10-3 at halftime. Kevin Harlan alongside Craig James. A lot of turnovers in that first half.
Well, New England comes out. They're playing hard. They have a good offensive possession. Carolina comes out, and they get crazy on 3rd and short. They throw the ball out. Ty Law takes 1 back for a touchdown. Then Winky had another mistake. And really, we said it earlier that Carolina has endured. They've weathered these storms, these turnovers right here. Because a lot of teams would have fallen apart. But New England needs to come back out. They need to control the ball. They need to run the football and stop turning it over. When you look at the statistics of the first half, this is a surprising number here. I thought that would be over on New England's side. The turnovers, they need to be better in the red zone. And then there are the 2 touchdowns called back that Belichick alluded to, and those are hard to overcome.
Adam Vinatieri has the ball teed up at the 30, and our second half is underway. Number one kickoff man in the NFL from the 13-yard line. Rookie Steve Smith. Grabbed and brought down by Patrick Pass at the 23-yard line. Had a great angle on him and brought him down after a return of 11 yards on the play. And Carolina gets it back first and 10.
Watch how he accelerates through Smith. Pass comes up, accelerates through the leg. That is beautiful job of going and getting a deceiving runner. The guy that makes you miss a lot of times. He just went right to his legs. He took charge. He became offensive.
Take a look at Pass on the sideline. Looks like a shoulder. First and 10 from the 23. Pitch out to Huntley, over 100 yards today. Slips by one defender that is brought down. McGinnis finally got him along with Ty Law. And Anthony Pleasant. Loss of a yard on the play. Back to the 22-yard line.
Well, obviously, Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinators, decided to come out a little bit change here. You've got Brian Cox and Ted Johnson in the game here. You know, here's Johnson, here's Brian Cox, Willie McGinnis up top. So they're going to go out and they're going to try to do something a little differently than the way they started the game. See if that strategy will pay off for them.
Second down and 11 from the 22. Winky, good block from Huntley on McGinnis. Outside it goes to Hoover. Grabbing the outside by Ted Johnson. Brought down after a gain of 7 near the 30-yard line. It'll be third down and about 4.
Now the Patriots, they do the 4-3, they run the 3-4, they go 3 defensive linemen, they go 4 linebackers. The thing that's really changed here is Teddy Bruschi's playing so well at the middle linebacker, so they stay with that 4-3 look. But that means Ted Johnson, who has been injured but playing well, is back in the mix. He's sitting on the pine a lot, so is Brian Cox. Good players, good depth, good options for Romeo Crennel.
Third down, 4 from the 29. Hoover in the backfield. They haven't gone to Jeffers yet. There's a pass down the sideline to Patrick Jeffers. Incomplete pass. Carolina's got a punt. Word from the New England sideline, Teddy Bruschi has a head injury, will not return today. Todd Sauerbrunn sets to punt for Carolina.
So maybe that explains a little bit why they've changed up here, going with Ted Johnson and Brian Cox to start the third quarter.
Sauerbrunn readies. Sends a rocket down to Troy Brown, who drifts back to the 24. Taking a couple tackles. Finally put down hard by Corey Minor at the 25. 2-yard return, a 48-yard punt by Sauerbrunn. And the Patriots get it for the first time in the second half.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Well, if there is a concern area, that's one right there. They haven't scored an opening second half drive touchdown in 25 games. That's pretty bad.
After the Carolina punt, 25-yard line, first and 10 outside to David Patton. Pushed out of bounds by Deion Grant and Jimmy Hitchcock. Gain of 7 on the play. Coming up next, the Jets take on Oakland. Some of you will see Buffalo, Miami, and others will see Kansas City, Seattle. Seattle is still very much alive.
And you know what? All 3 road teams right there, all 3 road teams very capable of winning. I like Kansas City. Buffalo starting to turn the corner, playing better. And the Jets and Oakland, it's just a matter of which team shows up on both of those units.
Second down and 3 at the 32. Harris in the backfield. David Smith in the backfield. Handoff goes to Edwards. He was brought down by Mike Minner. Gain of 2. Antoine Smith comes from Buffalo. Mark Edwards comes from Cleveland. A new quarterback, an entirely new backfield for this playoff-bound New England team.
You know what? Bob Kraft gave up a lot to get Belichick to come over here, but it really wasn't as much as what people thought initially it would be. It was a good decision. The New England Patriots last year weathered some storms. It was a slow start this season, but his philosophy and what they're trying to do here is paying off for him.
34-yard line, third down and 1. Fake handoff to Smith. Brady with time, winds up down the sideline to Wiggins, and he makes the catch. The tight end at the 35. Jermaine Wiggins with his 13th reception of the season. He picks up 31 yards, a season long, and a first down for New England.
They're going to come across with motion here, and they're really wanting to throw it to Troy Brown. You see him in motion coming across. He gets held up. But when that happened is Hitchcock looked to the backfield. He gave up on Wiggins, who turned and went down the sidelines. So it was the second option for Tom Brady. The defensive back pulled off and let Wiggins get behind him.
Redmond in the backfield. Pass is the wingback down the empty backfield from the Carolina 35. First and 10. Brady with the dart. Dropped incomplete. Looking for Troy Brown. Smothered on the play by Darren Hambrick. Second down and 10.
Troy Brown is, like we said, an alternate to the Pro Bowl, is a big play receiver, but he's got to keep coming across. He's going to take it. He got hit. Go ahead and keep coming on in, make the reception. He pulled up a little bit on that one that they had a review of, and he had the ruled incomplete earlier in the second quarter.
Smith back in. Edwards will be in the I formation with him. Second down, 10 from the 35. Pitch out to Smith. The block by Edwards. And grabbed by Hitchcock and torn out of bounds by Mike Minner. Defense stiffening, a gain of 1 on the play.
Does that look like a defense that's ready to go home for the offseason?
They didn't play like it last week either against Arizona.
Well, in fairness to the Panthers, this is a team that has played hard and had a chance to win all but 2 games. They look at San Francisco and Arizona as just 2 eggs they laid, but other than that, they played hard and been close.
Mike Minner is the all-time leading tackler for Carolina. Coached by Dom Capers early in the history of this franchise, and now by George Seifert. Third down and 9. Kevin Falk is in the game. Inside the 35. That's a direct snap to Falk, who is brought down by Mike Minner at the 36. They did the same thing a couple weeks ago against Miami, which turned out to be a pass to Tom Brady. It was a run.
And all the pressure. Look at the safeties that come up in the middle of the field. It's a good run blitz. The negative to that play, if you're the Panthers, is if he busts through that one little line, it's over with. Katie bar the door.
Ken Walter to punt.
You know Katie?
I know Katie. Huh? Got to bar the door when she's coming through. Steve Smith inside the 10. Little wind to deal with. Rush was on by Goings, and the punt drifting inside the 5. Dying at the 1. What a punt by Walter. Picked up by Patrick Pass, a 35-yard punt with only a couple inches to spare. They let Walter go here in Carolina for Todd Sauerbrunn. Both going head-to-head today.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Goodyear, reminding you to take all of your journeys on the wings of Goodyear. Circuit City, we know how you feel, that's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
After a terrific punt by Ken Walter, stranding Carolina at the 1. Second start today from their 1. First and 10 for Chris Winkie. Fake to Huntley. Here comes the rush by Hamilton. The pass is dropped by Hayes at the 15-yard line. Incomplete pass. Second down and 10. Bucky Jones is on the play.
Well, that's where you scratch your head. Seifert just has to absolutely be scratching his head. How can you execute, pick it up, move the pocket, throw the ball down the field, and your guy drops it? Donald Hayes has to make that play.
They're without Isaac Bird, who is injured, a concussion out. Muhsin Muhammad, their leading receiver. Also out Wesley Walls. Second down 10 from the 1. Hand off to Huntley, Pleasant, and Seymour, and a host of other Patriots in there after a gain of 3. Third down 7 coming up, and the ball just shy of the 5.
Of course, when you've lost 14 straight games, you have to have several drops along the way to get there. But one of the problems with this offense is the fact that they've had kind of a carousel running around of receivers. Offensive line's done a good job. And Seifert told us, he said, look, I've won a Super Bowl with a less talented offensive line. So it's not the offensive line, it's the execution around them.
Third down 7 from the 4. Huntley chased by McGinnis and brought down by Willie McGinnis. A gain of 3 on the play, and that's it. And Carolina's got a punt. The boos cascading down to the upper deck here at Erickson Stadium.
Oh, yeah? Where are they up there?
They're out there doing it. Monday on CBS, the King of Queens, yesteryear. Everybody Loves Raymond, Becker, and Family Law. All here Monday on CBS. Walter had one block here by the Jets earlier this season. Punt is picked up by Troy Brown, and he is gone. $68-yard punt return.
Well, that'll hurt the old net average. That's the 6th punt return for a touchdown in his career against Sauerbrunn. You talk about out-kicking the coverage, Kevin. Look at that. He dropped deep. It's a booming kick, but his coverage in the wall just wasn't there. And Troy Brown, if you give him that type of room, we all know he's done it in the past, that's a lot of room for a talented foot guy.
Vinatieri will try the extra point. And that is up and in. Fireworks for the New England Patriots. Troy Brown takes it the distance.
Access NFL.com now on America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
The world's greatest golfers will claim history as their own. The PGA Tour is on CBS Sports.
Troy Brown returns his second punt this season for a touchdown. He's the number 5 punt returner in the NFL. In every facet of the Patriots game has scored a touchdown except the offense today.
You get into that mode here now where you start thinking about, okay, down the road and execution and playing well, knowing that you've got to get it done right now and coming off that bye.
Vinatieri's kickoff. Inside the 15-yard line for Steve Smith. Grabbed by Bucky Jones and wrestled down at the 28-yard line.
You know, that Bucky Jones is showing up as a player, isn't he?
Looks great tonight on the CBS Sunday Night Movie. When it comes to being a master thief, it takes one to catch one. The network premiere of Entrapment. All tonight on CBS.
What about being home in time to watch that?
You might be.
Maybe. Outside chance.
29-yard line, 1st and 10. Winky has thrown 2 interceptions today. Blocked by Huntley in time for Winky. Goes outside to Hoover. He was brought down by Ty Law, who intercepted a pass earlier this game for a touchdown. Gain of 6 on that play, up to the 35.
So much made out of how strong the legs Sauerbrunn has, which he does, no question about it, but there's nobody around the ball. As soon as Troy Brown caught it, they were spread out. Punt coverage just wasn't there, and New England knew they had a chance today because of the big, long leg to get on bodies before they got to the punt returner.
2nd down and 4 from the 35. Spangans in motion, offers a block for Huntley. He runs outside into the secondary, brought down by Matt Stevens at the 50-yard line. It's a gallop of 15 yards as we take you now to New York in Jim Nance.
All right, Kevin and Craig, watch this run back. Not quite as fast as Troy Brown. It's Keith Traylor putting the big paw out there, making the interception. He's running down the sidelines for Chicago, looking to clinch that NFC Central. Wait, I need some help. He's going to get dragged down. It'll set up a Miller touchdown pass. Let's go back to Kevin and Craig.
Wow. Of course, Mark Brunell has had 2 interceptions, Jim, returned for touchdowns this year. Almost had a 3rd right there.
Yeah, if that guy had any speed.
1st and 10 for Carolina at the 50. Pitch out to Huntley. Gets by Hamilton. Finds his seam. Makes his way down to the 31-yard line. Grabbed by Mike Vrabel, the ex-Steeler, a gain of 19 yards. Huntley is having a terrific day, 144 yards on 19 carries.
All right, you know what? let's stop it when we get right here so we can find out how many bodies are getting to the ball. Look at the lane. Here's a linebacker coming from the inside. They're cut off on the outside, block Ted Johnson from the outside, and there's a big lane there. They're just not getting enough sick'em on that defense today. And, you know, being off 15 days from football, Kevin, has a lot to do with that.
31-yard line, first down and 10. Huntley again, another seam, another broken tackle. Finally brought down by Ty Law as he swerves to the 25. Carolina now with a season-high 153 rushing yards.
The Patriots have been lousy this year on first down. You know, so it's no surprise that their rush defense has been a little bit bad. But I'll say this, the last 3 games, they've improved significantly over the first 12 games. I mean, this is a group that's been giving up about 3.1 yard average over the last 3 games. So the defensive coordinator, Cornell, really felt like they had made some strides in progress, but today just giving it up.
Second down and 4, 25-yard line. Pitch out to Huntley. And down to the 23-yard line. Now it'll be third down, Craig, and about 2.
Well, you've got a tired Huntley. He's going to come off the field. I think maybe they learned a little bit on what their success ratio is running on short yardage versus throwing. Problem is, Huntley's had so much success getting down there, he's tired and out of the game.
Nick Goings comes in his place. Third down and 2. Outside it goes, looking for Smith, incomplete. And they had Terrell Buckley over there. Some hard hitting in this game today.
Oh, that's a medicine ball. You know, that's just an absolute medicine ball that can't be thrown. They are squatting on the corners out here all day long by New England and nailing the receivers coming to the flat.
Field goal try now, 40 yards. Casey with Sauerbrunn to hold. The wind is negligible here inside Ericsson Stadium. The high snap. And Casey gets his second field goal of the day. This time from 40 yards. And a timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Burger King, home of the Whopper. And by Cellular One. When you need a cell phone, Cellular One is here.
Soggy day here in Charlotte. Another field goal, and it's 17-6 the score with the New England Patriots on top. Kevin Harlan and Craig James. The Patriots have scored on special teams. The Patriots have scored on defense. They have not scored a touchdown in offense. They do have a field goal.
That's why in the AFC, any team who can get to the dance has a chance. You know, there's no dominant team. Pittsburgh right now, the Steelers. You know, nobody has a dominant team that you would say, hey, they're a layup to go to the Super Bowl. So just get to the dance with all the bullets that these teams have in themselves must be addressed if you're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Patrick pass inside the 15-yard line. Hurdles his body past the 35 and up to the 37. 26-yard return. We saw pass holding his shoulder a couple series ago, but looks to be Hale and Hardy now back in there for New England. Patriots have had 2 touchdowns called back today because of penalties. Nonetheless, leading 17-6. Carolina has lost 14 consecutive games. If they lose today, they'll set an all-time NFL record for consecutive losses. After the kickoff from the 37, first and 10. And a gain of a yard on the play as they run the dive with Antoine Smith. 6'2", 230 pounds. He's big, and there's a familiar number 32 he has on as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've talked to Antoine a couple weeks ago. Said, hey, I'm happy for you. You know, I'm kind of pulling for that number you got wearing around there. A little legacy going on. He said, I hear you, Craig.
Second down, 9 at the 38. Fake to Smith. Outside it goes to Troy Brown, who's drilled by Hitchcock at the 46. Close to a first down. But probably shy by a bit.
And I I sure like that. I like the way they run. Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, has done a remarkable job this year of just keeping this team focused. You know, his offensive group comes out. They have formation changes. They've done a wonderful job of helping Tom Brady to understand what's going on out there, what they're trying to accomplish. Both Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel will be candidates. They'll be mentioned a lot when these head coaching jobs come over.
First down, they gave him a great spot beyond the 47. And Smith again cracking his way up to the 49 and a gain of 2. Off the pile, and Brenson Buckner is at the bottom of it. Take a look at Smith. Second down and 8.
You know, oddly enough, New England has a lot of success running to their left side of the line. They really haven't done that today. Brenson Buckner's broken through and has penetration over there, so been thrown off a little bit from what their normal success is.
Second down and 8. Smith remains in the backfield. A pass right on the money, caught by Troy Brown. Angling to the 34 and belted on the play by Lester Towns. A gain of 17 yards and a Patriot first down.
Yeah, you know what? This guy Troy Brown, and this is why he's an alternate to the Pro Bowl this year. He drives hard, a good, precise, crisp route coming inside. And Troy and Tom Brady setting back, setting his feet, throwing the football like he says, hey, I don't see any problem with this game. If you know where you're going with the football, you're decisive. Just step back, let your feet drop, boom, and throw it hard.
He just made his 100th reception right there. First and 10. Patriots at the Carolina 34. And they go to Edwards, who is pulled down by Al Lucas and Chris Slade. Gain of 2. Chris Slade played with the Patriots from 93 through last season. Joined Carolina as a free agent after training camp began. A very familiar name and figure of Chris Slade from New England fans. Going from what was a building playoff team to what is now the worst team along with Detroit in the NFL. Second down 8 from the 32. Pitch out to Smith, a block by Edwards, a block by Brown, and there he goes! Galloping for a touchdown! A 32-yard touchdown run by number 32.
There's that run into the left side. Huh? That'll cure a lot of ills that you had right there. Watch Rutledge, the tight end over here. Just a wonderful job of blocking by the offensive line to pitch. He stretches it. Look at the push out by Rutledge. He gets the block to the outside. Mark Edwards smoked. Hitchcock coming in the middle of the field. Safety couldn't get there. Deion Grant out of position. Antoine Smith to the left side. That's where that success comes, and it's weird because it's more normally you're running to the right side.
The offense finally gets on the board in terms of a touchdown. And Antoine Smith runs in for his 12th touchdown of the year. It should be his second of the day. That's going back to last season, going back to his last game with the Buffalo Bills, and to today. 12 for the New England Patriots on the ground this season. For Antoine Smith, Saturday CBS Sports hoops it up with doubleheader excitement beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern. There are the games. 10 top 25 teams lost yesterday in college basketball. And those are the 10. Oklahoma State getting beat at home.
Yeah, Texas did it without Chris Owens.
Right, exactly.
Out for the year.
Virginia losing to NC State, so those some of the teams that fell yesterday in the top 25. Look at Antoine Smith, who had a career-high 156 yards against Miami 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Bees, you know what? We were getting ready to talk about how they lost the timing in the running game, but that little run right there may open up something, huh?
You know what? It really did. And yeah, his speed is shocking for a big man. You know, standing here about 10 yards away from him, watching him accelerate was impressive.
Vinatieri with the kickoff for New England, going short. And Smith inside the 25. Fumble on the play, it's loose, and the Patriots have recovered. At the 34. And Steve Smith is certainly fumble prone. The 8th fumble by Smith on kick returns this season.
I think you have to accept that, though, Kevin. I mean, you don't accept it, but you have to understand that's part of the deal when you've got an explosive, talented, big play guy returning kicks. He's young, and they tackle the ball. And I don't think that many guys coming into the league realize just how hard it is to hold on to the ball once bodies are around you. You've got to learn to run with 2 hands around the football.
I think Antoine Harris is the one who knocked it away. It's a 1st and 10. Brady down the sideline for Brown, intercepted on the play. And picked off for a second time today by Deion Grant. Down the sideline he goes and forced out by Brady. Brady has thrown his second interception of the day. It's a 42-yard return. New England's 3rd turnover with 1:07 to play in the 3rd.
Just a little horsing around here. They give the out and up move. Deion Grant doesn't buy it. He stays back, shows discipline in his defensive coverage, comes across for it. Hitchcock was underneath. They tried to play foolish there. I mean, they tried to get a little cute with the ball, trying to throw the out and up. They had the timing, but Grant came over from a safety position.
So 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line for Carolina with 1:07 to play in the 3rd quarter. Brady with a couple interceptions today. Broke the Grant, handoff to fake to Huntley, picked up by Winky, chased by Willie McGinnis, and throws it out of bounds. And a flag is thrown on the play. Maybe a late hit by McGinnis back at the 42. A very seductive fake by Winky and a penalty flag thrown on the New England Patriots.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 55, New England, went low at the quarterback after the pass was gone. 1st down.
There he is. He's over here. Look at him. He's hustling. He's hump time. Coming backside. Tremendous effort. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a bad. You know what? That's a fine right there, I bet you. Because that's a hit from going down low.
Going for his knee.
Yeah, that's not good. They'll review that in New York.
25-yard line, 1st and 10 for Chris Winky. Fake to Huntley. And a dart down the middle. Drops by fullback Brad Hoover. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10 as we join Jim Nantz at our studios in New York.
All right, it's snowing in Pittsburgh, and Hines Ward and Plexico Burris each got their 1,000-yard seasons. First tandem in Pittsburgh history to do so, same season. So Bobby Shaw now gets into the act with a touchdown from Tommy Maddox. 21-7 Steelers in the 4th. Let's go back to you.
Thank you, Jim. A overtime loss to Cincinnati last week for Pittsburgh. They needed the win going into the playoffs today. 2nd down and 10 on the 25. Winky the pitch to Huntley, who wants to throw. Pulls it back in. Fumble on the play. And did Richard Seymour get it? New England has it. Back and forth the turnovers go. Carolina has 4 turnovers today.
The toughest decision to make as a halfback throwing the ball is when not to throw the football. He does that. There's no problem with that. They get Jeffers running wide, deep up the field. He's trying to throw it deep. Now you got to just tuck the ball. Willie McGinnis, who had just been called for a personal foul hitting the quarterback low and late, comes in, rakes the football away from Huntley, and he did the right thing by not throwing it, but he screwed up by not tucking the ball away.
Redmond in the backfield. And Brady after the turnover at his 24 with a 1st and 10. J.R. Redmond. That's a block by Wright. And hit by Rucker. Brought down with no gain. 2nd down and 10. Speaking of running backs throwing the ball, let me take you back a couple years to the old number 32 at the Patriots. And a little pass play here by Craig James.
Yeah, I wonder how they analyze that. Oh, man. Back in the day, them old days, huh?
Yeah, you look good.
Oh, my
you look young.
Yeah.
You have aged very badly.
You know what, Kelly? You're just making me feel good, huh?
2nd down and 10. Redmond pounding his way up to the 26. That'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. It's a lot of mistakes by Carolina and by New England. But the Patriots on top. They've scored on special teams, defense, and offense today. In that 3rd quarter, Antoine Smith had a touchdown run. Troy Brown had a punt return touchdown. So we start the fourth quarter with a 3rd and 8. Brady outside to David Patton, knocked out of bounds by Rashard Anderson for a first down up to the 36-yard line. Gain of 10.
Well, this is the big dance coming up here. They've got the berth. If they win, as they more than likely are going to here, they're going to win the division title. And now they need to find out what happens down here. You know, the Jets. They're needing the Jets to beat Oakland. And if they do that, the Patriots would have the number 2 seed. Another off week, which I don't think they'd really like to deal with. I'd rather just play, man. You've already had a long break. But they'll deal with that once it comes.
36-yard line. And Smith on the call to the 40-yard line, picks up 4.
That Jets-Oakland game coming up here, really, you know, you talk about the New York Jets. The Jets are a football team. They started slow. They got hot. They cooled off. I think they lost their identity. They tried to start throwing the ball too much. They got to run Curtis Martin, the strength of their football team. As for the Oakland Raiders, the Raiders are a football team that there's bickering going on. But if there's one team in the league who could deal with bickering, it would be the Oakland Raiders.
Done it before. 2nd down and 6 from the 40. Smith flags all over the field, brought down with virtually no gain at the 40-yard line. Hit by Mike Minner. And also on that defense, shot by Chris Slade.
Offsides. Number 71 defense. It's a 5-yard premium. This will be short of a first down or remain 2nd down.
Because the Patriots have a chance at another bye coming up. Charlie Weiss, if I were the offensive coordinator, I'd be telling my group, fellas, we need all the reps we can, all the good reps we can get. We need to play hard, take advantage of this fourth quarter.
2nd down, 1:45, pitch out to Antoine Smith and brought down nicely by rookie Dan Morgan, close to a first down. Talked to Dan Morgan yesterday. He was injured earlier in the season with leg problems. Now he is back playing well. One of the better young rookie linebackers in the NFL.
That guy's certainly not used to losing, is he? Playing from the University of Miami. This has been a tough go on him and a lot of players. And including George Seifert. I mean, it's not been a layup for him either. A lot of stress.
The rain has really not been a factor in the game. It is just very damp and the field is soggy. But the rain that we were anticipating stopped right around kickoff time.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's why there are a lot of fans just didn't come. They were staying at home off the streets. They were under winter weather advisory / warning for the Charlotte area. And so just a lot of people didn't feel safe enough to come to the game.
It may be tough to sell these people to renew season tickets, Craig, with the same staff and Seifert and everything else.
That's why it's running rampant around here that Steve Spurrier is the guy they'd like to have.
They do get a first down at the 46-yard line. Hand off to J.R. Redmond. Brought down again by Mike Minner. Gain of 1 on the play, nudging it up to the 47-yard line. 2nd down and about 9.
Beasley, you buy that? I mean, that Charlie Weiss needs to be telling his guys to play hard and take advantage of this workout?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, they need to hit a pace, a rhythm, all of those days off. Depending on whether or not they get a few more days off, they need to establish something right here.
2nd down, 9 with Brady inside his own 47. Pitch out to Redmond, a block from Edwards. A little hole there before Doug Evans makes the stop. And a gain of 6-7 yards on the play. They'll be inside the 48, close to the 47. Just grinding out. Have you played on a team like, not as bad as Carolina, but on a team like this where your last game of the season, nothing to play for whatsoever, maybe except your job for next year?
And the game's changed so much now. You have players on the field auditioning for free agency. You have others who are young just trying to improve so they can be on the team next year. I was a competitor, man, and if you're in the NFL, most of the guys are out here competitive, and they're playing hard regardless of the situation.
Shy of the 47, 3rd down and 3. Redmond and Edwards in the backfield, winding up Brady down the sideline, looking for Patton. It's incomplete at the 5. play by Mike Minner. And the New England Patriots will have to punt.
Man, I want you to watch how fast this guy is. David Patton, watch how he gets down and runs just right past him. I mean, you better turn and run and get after it. This football team lost Terry Glenn, a very talented receiver. They lost him in all practical purposes. I mean, he's around and could play, but Patton and Brown stepped up and made plays this year.
Waldo just about had that block by Casey Crawford. Fair caught at the 9 by Smith, 38-yard boot, and a timeout. 24-6, the New England Patriots lead Carolina. Kevin Harlan and Craig James. Pretty impressive right now by the New England Patriots.
Yeah, but it hasn't always been that impressive. Remember back, this team was 1-3. I mean, this team was ready to fall apart against the San Diego Chargers. The season was almost over, but Belichick stuck by his guns. And I believe his discipline has just been contagious around this entire team and organization.
A fumble at the 9 on the exchange from center Jeff Mitchell to Chris Winkie. Another turnover for Carolina, the 5th of the day, and New England will take over. First and goal inside the 9. So Winkie himself has turned the ball over 3 times today.
Yeah, you know, and the ball just didn't look like it ever got to his butt. He never got it up to the top. And when it's going bad, it's going bad. And Parker comes up to the fumble recovery. Seifert has never had to deal with something like this. You know, this is a miserable, certainly doesn't help his cause for the future here with Carolina. 2 weeks in a row, the old egg comes out.
Just inside the 9, first and goal for the New England Patriots. Fake to Smith, Brady to the end zone, no one home. Looked like Hitchcock and Brown were jousting at the front. Second down and goal.
And again, here's another one of those examples of how your quarterback doesn't hurt you, doesn't beat the football team. He loses his wide receiver. Troy Brown's up top, comes in, slips on the turf. And when he slips, he just throws the ball away. What the heck? Don't make a bad move, bad decision. Live to throw it one more time.
Smith remains in the backfield. Second down goal at the 9. Smith slowed down a little bit by Ruck, gain of 4. And he slithers to the 5.
Not much slither to that.
Slipped off the front.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bull.
81 yards.
81.
Including a 32-yard touchdown run by Antoine Smith.
You saw those numbers there when they get inside the red zone. The Patriots have been successful, and they wanted to improve on that. And Antoine Smith, a big reason behind a lot of that success.
Third down goal at the 5. Rutledge in motion, the fake to Smith. Brady to the end zone, caught for a touchdown by Jermaine Wiggins. His 4th touchdown reception of the year. And you're looking at the coach and at the team that has just won the AFC Eastern Division.
Yeah, you know what? Watch how he comes out here. He's going to go. He leaks, he slides, he falls down. Brady still stays with him, comes up. Wiggins for the touchdown. And Brady's like a big kid, man. He comes into the meeting. He's got his baseball cap on backwards, just smiling, listening to his finish up with Brian Cox. Happy to be there.
Vinatieri. Patriots taking care of business.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Wendy's Super Value Menu. The best 99 cents you can spend. The Home Depot, driving down the cost of home improvement. And by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done.
Patriots have a season-high 5 takeaways. They just got a touchdown pass from Brady. Here's a little chip shot by Vinatieri, which is picked up on the side by tight end Luther Broughton, who takes it by midfield and to the New England 44. A 26-yard return by the lumbering tight end. short kickoff by Vinatieri on purpose and returned by the tight end Broughton up to the 44-yard line of New England. Swinky goes down in 10. Blitz is on, passes away. And it is caught by Steve Smith, who goes busting his way inside the 35, close to a first down near the 34. Things now on the plate for the New England Patriots after today.
One of the decisions they're going to have to make is what are they going to do with Drew Bledsoe? He's got a big contract. They got two talented players now that are proven that they can both win. He's got two Pro Bowl quarterbacks on his roster, so this is going to be a very interesting offseason for the Patriots, but one that has a lot of upside.
Second down one for Hayes inside the 5. Incomplete coverage applied by Otis Smith. The thing about Bledsoe, there's been talk that they may, of course, put him on the expansion list and they could completely wipe out his contract by making him available in the expansion draft.
Yeah, and when you talk about what he means to a team, this guy's a young quarterback. He's proven that he can do it and he can win. He got hurt and beat up quite often because he didn't have the running game that Antoine Smith has right now. So somebody out there is going to really benefit from having a guy like Drew Bledsoe with his character and integrity on the team.
They'll be 30 in February, third down and 1 from the 34 for Winky. Here comes Otis Smith, and there comes a sack. That's the second today by New England. And Otis Smith with his 4th career sack, his 2nd of the season.
Yeah, Smith's going to come from way up here on the top side, coming off the corner, and he just keeps coming. He just keeps coming. And again, that's one of those that came late. And because he was so late in coming, they just didn't know Otis Smith was over there. And so Winky just not being aware, the timing of the ball, it had to be gone. Everybody wants to get rid of the football under 3 seconds. You want 2.9, 2.8. I guarantee you that was 3.2, 3.3, 3.4 before he let go or got sacked there.
4th and 7 from the 41. Blitz is on again. Here comes Warrior Malloy. Nice deceptive move by Winky. And here comes Rabe on the pass. Almost intercepted by Otis Smith. And on 4th down, it goes back to the New England Patriots on down.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by CarQuest Auto Parts. You'll find it at CarQuest. And by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices.
Wow. You talk about some heat, some steam. You know what? That's a pretty cool shot.
Some Rogaine. Brady 16 of 27, a touchdown and 2 picks today. On downs, he gets it back at the 41, 1st and 10. Short drop, quick throw, Troy Brown. Brought down on the play. Morgan gain of 4. And he's up to near the 45.
Back on that Drew Bledsoe deal, what are they going to happen with him? There are several scenarios and things that could take place. I've got a hunch that Bob Kraft appreciates the way Bledsoe's handled this. I would not be surprised at all if Kraft were to do something that would help Drew Bledsoe in the future. That may not be in the best interest of his team necessarily in terms of getting draft choices and things like that, but the human being side of it. Bledsoe will turn out okay, and the Patriots will turn out good regardless of what happens there.
Second down, 6:45. And Redmond tries to carve out a couple of yards in there, gets maybe a yard and a half, just nudging up to the 46-yard line. One thing about Bledsoe is that he's also great trade bait if they decide to go that way. The Washington Post this week said that perhaps the Redskins would be interested in some kind of deal.
Washington, Chicago has been rumored out there. Yeah, we'll get a couple of, they may ask for 2 number 1s, but at least a 1, a 2, and a 3. Maybe they put him and make him available to the Texans in the expansion draft. Now, that would be being kind to him. Let him go as a young man, really, to an expansion team in a good market.
3rd down 5, 46-yard line. And Brady, incomplete, just threw it out of bounds.
Now, I'm not a Cap Animus guy, I'm not one of those guys, but I believe if he were to be allowed to be open to the Texans and they took him, that it would have 0 impact on their salary cap. They wouldn't have to take a hit. They wouldn't have to recover things. So that's what I'm talking about. Maybe he's nice to him, and rather going after players in terms of draft choices, he gets relief from letting him go to a good team in the salary cap department.
But there's got to be some emotional tugging as well. He's taken you to a Super Bowl. He's a three-time Pro Bowler. He's been the model citizen.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
He's taken so many hits on the field for this franchise. It's a very difficult decision to make. Walters punt. And Smith up into the fog. Looks and grabs it at the 18. Grabbed by Tebucky Jones and thrown down. Patrick Pass assisted on the play, but Tebucky Jones was the guy. 37-yard punt. Tonight on 60 Minutes, while security experts are reasonably certain they can protect the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City from terror attack, they'll tell 60 Minutes that they are not too sure that they can say the same thing about Athens when the Summer Olympics are held there in 2.5 years. Tonight on 60 Minutes, plus Max Bickford and Entrapment. All tonight on CBS. 17-yard line after the New England punt. First and 10. Winky across the middle. It's his tight end, Mangum. Tackled immediately on the play by Lawyer Malloy at about the 25 and a gain of 7. Second down and 3.
There's another one of those guys we haven't talked a whole lot about today, but Lawyer Malloy, another Pro Bowl trip for him. Just a tremendous work ethic and attitude. I'm telling you, the Patriots have a whole lot of upside in this organization.
Second down, 3, incomplete. Third down and 3.
So,
almost picked off on the play by Matt Stevens. The flag is down back at about the 13.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go? He's still...
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 70 with a headbutt. After the incomplete pass, the down counts. Third down.
Chris Terry.
The penalty is half the distance.
So regardless of what they do, hey, Beasley, if the Patriots get draft choices, they improve. If they have salary cap room, they can go recruit in free agency. They got a brand new stadium coming up, so there are a lot of upside in that scenario.
See, I think cap room is the most valuable thing an NFL team can have in this new business environment. If I were that organization, that's the way I would go.
Can't disagree with that at all. I think it's a good point.
Professor Reese.
Outside the 12.
Economics.
Third down and 15. Winky. Great time. Low pass. Uncatchable. Incomplete for Steve Smith. Really Winky, and there's a flag. Late flag thrown at the 10-yard line. I was about ready to say the Winky's been one of the real pleasant things about this Carolina season and what looks to be their 15th consecutive loss. It's against New England.
Yeah, Tebucky Jones got a little excited over there.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 34. Defense. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's an automatic first down.
Former running back at Syracuse and first-round pick by New England. And Bill Belichick told us last night he's had a great month and a half of football.
Hey, we went from the...
Lobbying's over with, fellas. Play ball.
It's gotten foggier as this game has gone on, too. I don't know if you can tell it on your screen, but you know that we can see it right here. And some of the buildings that are just over the rim, downtown Charlotte, just over the rim of the stadium, we can't see anymore. They're shrouded in fog.
You are awesome, Mr. Webster.
Well, it's our first and only time we're going to see the New England Patriots, Craig, you and I this year. And
there's a team right there, Chicago, blasting away. We may see New England, Chicago down the road.
First down and 10 for Winky. Throws a pass, caught by Jeffers and drilled on the play by Lawyer Malloy. Jeffers' first reception of the day, making his first start today since 1999.
Well, how have these Patriots been built? They've had some success doing a lot of different things, but you look at the number of starters they picked up since the 31st of May. Those are impressive when you can get that many guys back on your team that late in the offseason.
Second down, 7, 31-yard line. Winky with time. Here comes Vrabel. He dodges him, and he throws a pass to Hoover, which is incomplete in the coverage by Roman Pfeiffer. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Has there been a team, or is there a team right now, and has there been a team this year that has done a better job in rebuilding, working around the cap than Belichick and the Patriots have done with more important type players? Getting Edwards, getting Smith, getting Pfeiffer. I mean, right on down the line.
You're all absolutely right. And the fact that Belichick has molded them, brought them together this soon. That's what takes usually the longest time, is to get the chemistry going.
3rd and 7, 31. Blitz is on. Here comes Winky. Blitz is picked up. Steve Smith has it. And Terrell Buckley with flags all over the field. Buckley was covering on the play. It's a 19-yard gain on 3rd and 7 as it stands right now. 6:40 to play. Patriots on the verge of their first divisional championship in 4 years.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 27 defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, there's 30 yards of personal fouls right here in the last few snaps against the Patriots. That's just getting sloppy, not paying as close attention as he should. And Buckley comes up and grabs the face mask, and Smith, 15 yards. No question about him grabbing that mask. You talk about the cars running. They're running. The Panthers have them running in the parking lot. The Patriots, they want the buses going too.
Hetherington in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the 35. Outside, it's thrown. Caught by the tight end Mangum, whose dad played in the NFL and whose brother John played in the NFL for a time with the Chicago Bears. Down to the 30 and a gain of 5. I was shocked on a day like this to see how many Patriot fans have made their way down from New England here to the Carolinas.
You know, years ago, back in the day, they came down to support us in the AFC Championship game against the Miami Dolphins, and they travel. Patriots fans are loyal. They'll get after it. They'll get out and go.
Inside the 31, 2nd down and 6. Ranky again to the air. Intercepted on the play. This one by Otis Smith. He had a touchdown called back earlier in the game, and now with Winky to beat, he'll take it in for a touchdown. Otis Smith with a touchdown return of 75 yards. And behind Peyton Manning, no quarterback has thrown more interceptions for touchdowns than rookie Chris Winky.
Hayes drives, goes up the field. This is a long throw across the field. That's that cover 2 that all day has hounded, absolutely destroyed Chris Winky. They roll, that corner rolls. Beasley's taught us well in these meetings. They roll out of there, come right back into the flat into coverage and picked it off. That's happened 3 times that we know of right now on interceptions today.
That could be his 2nd touchdown. Had the first one not been called back on an interception. And Vinatieri's extra point is in. And the AFC Eastern Division champions getting tuned up, leading 38-6. And now all their eyes, as you see the takeaways this season, and today 6 of them to add to that total. All eyes for Patriot fans coming up next on CBS as the Jets take on the Oakland Raiders in Oakland, and the Buffalo Bills will battle the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, you know, you talk this game right here, there's a whole lot of meaning on the line now for both of those teams, especially the Raiders. Raiders have to win now to get the number 2 seed, or else the Patriots are going to be number 2. Buffalo is an up-and-coming team. I mean, they're an up-and-coming team, and Bob Kraft's going to have a team like the Bills to deal with down the road. Both of these teams moving up. But he's done a great job. Bob Kraft just came out and the decision he made last year to stick with Belichick, and then this year starting out 1-3 and down on the ropes against San Diego right there at the end, they hung in there.
And it only gets better for him. The team is going to go to the playoffs, and he's got this brand new stadium, which has been such a contended issue in New England for so long. Remember, this team was going to move to St. Louis a handful of years ago.
Yeah, I was in there. And I thought I may be going there or Orlando or there, all kinds of rumors. But I tell you what, Beasley alluded to it. You got a new stadium, you got some salary cap room, you got an up-and-coming team, you got a young quarterback, you got corners. I mean, they've got a lot of things to recruit with here.
Smith from about the 5 in the military kickoff. And brought down on the play by J.R. Redmond, the reserve running back, up near the 30-yard line, a 25-yard return. A lot of scenarios for the New England Patriots. Coming into today, 32 separate possibilities for New England.
There's the division title, the win part of it. Okay, now, when they talk about this first-round bye down here, here's what needs to happen. They've won. Oakland needs to lose. That's what they're looking for there. So there are all these scenarios, and as Brian Cox said, look, I'm not smart enough, and we aren't either to deal with the what-ifs. We need to win today, and if we have a bye next week, we'll deal with it when it gets here.
Timeout taken by New England with 5:35 to play here in the fourth quarter. And Carolina will set an NFL record with today's loss, the 15th of their 2001-2002 regular season. No team in the history of the NFL, and there's some pretty poor teams there, especially Tampa Bay and New Orleans, have lost that many straight. They won the opening game. Yeah, they won the opening game of the season, you may recall, in Minnesota against the Vikings. Chris Weinke making his first NFL start, and in that game, a rookie, Steve Smith, returned the opening kickoff of the season, 90-plus yards for a touchdown. You know that George Seifert was thinking, this is exactly what I thought would happen.
I think you know that there's two things here in this business, your heart and your head. My heart says I'm pulling for George Seifert because I like him, but realistically, there needs to be a change here. And I don't think this is the kind of blow-off game that he can endure. If he has a meeting that's coming up with the owners about this, I can't see how they can overlook the last two games.
Huntley with the run of 8. Gerard Cherry made the stop up near the 37. Well, there is probably not a more decorated head coach in the history of the NFL than George Seifert during his days in San Francisco. And he was the very smart hire here 3 years ago. Second down and 2. Huntley, again, jetting back and forth. Terrence Shaw makes the stop. Gain of 6 up near the 45. He's been in the Super Bowl. They won all those division titles in the NFC West while at San Francisco. He's accomplished a lot.
Yeah, that right there, that's the drainer. That's kind of how they judge you. What have you done for me lately?
He's lost basically 2 out of every 3 games he's coached here in Charlotte from the 45, first and 10. Weinke with time over Hamilton, throws downfield, caught by the tight end for the second time today, Mangum. Grabbed by Shaw near the 44. And he does have the first down. Following the game and throughout the week, log on to NFL.com to get the latest playoff schedule and analysis from the experts. It's all at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com. 44-yard line. It has been a brilliant season, especially after the way it began. 6th consecutive win on deck for New England. First and 10, Weinke swings a pass downfield to the 38, incomplete. And going again for the tight end Mangum, who was covered on the play by Gerard Cherry. 4:21 to play.
Well, and you kind of look ahead now. You start projecting what's going to happen in the playoffs, and kind of focus for a moment on the AFC. You've got to be able to stop the run, period. Pittsburgh can run the football. Right now, Bees, you'd have to say the Patriots, they can't stop the run. They're pretty inept at that at this moment.
Second down and 10. Fake to Huntley. Time for Weinke. Hit as he throws, incomplete. Bobby Hamilton came in and knocked his cocked hand astray. Bees?
Yeah, Craig, I agree with your point about them stopping the run. That's got to be concern number 1. That is the first thing you have to be able to do to be successful as a football team, and especially going into the playoffs. They're going to play all of the great teams. That's what they'll face over the next few weeks, so they've got to get that straight.
Yeah, you know what, and they've shown the ability in the red zone zone to do some things and turn it over. They've had some interceptions today and returned those, but stopping the run is a must.
171 yards today by Carolina. 3rd down 10 over McGinnis. The pass is thrown by Winkie and caught at the 42-yard line by Nick Goings. And over there he had Seymour along with Gerard Cherry making the stop. Gain of 2. Under 4 to play. A lot of timeouts for both teams, but I doubt they're going to be used much. And indeed, George Seifert is let go. Craig, do you think he'll coach again in the NFL?
Well, I know when he was working with us at CBS on the NFL Today that George enjoyed his time off. I remember him being happy and doing some sightseeing and vacationing and enjoying the water and his boating. I can't imagine that he'd want to get back into the ruckus.
4th and 8. Someone's offside. Riddick Parker it was. Here go the flags. Here comes Parker. Here comes McGinnis knocking the ball away. And it's loose. It's still like the Keystone Cops out there, and the ball is down about the 45. But the play was blown. The whistles heard and the flags thrown. It has gotten colder here, too, as the day has gone on.
Oh, come on. Stop whining.
Colder. Well, I mean, you can see the breath of the players now, whereas before the game you couldn't.
Oh.
I'm just telling you what I'm seeing.
Oh.
Offsides. Number 97 defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
4th down and 3 to be exact, down at the 37. As you take a look at Riddick Parker, a former Seattle Seahawk and a guy who did not play last week. Another one of those free agent pickups that Bill Belichick lured in to New England.
And their defensive ends have been playing good this year. They've got great depth at linebacker, good corners, good safeties. Tabucky Jones is finally coming into being a consistent, hard, smart football player in the NFL.
37-yard line, drop pass, incomplete, and on downs it goes back to New England. That was dropped by Steve Smith, who has fumbled today. Back early in this season, the Massachusetts media, Rhode Island media, they had basically declared the Patriots dead. And interesting how this season has turned around and made even more improbable by the injury that Bill Belichick had to withstand through Bledsoe. And then you just thought, my goodness, how is this team going to survive? And then, there's not a better individual story in the NFL than this Pro Bowl quarterback, Tom Brady. J.R. Redmond finds a crack and is up to the 40-yard line and picks up 3 yards. But what is interesting about the lack of recognition the Patriots have received this year, get this, New England had a couple of Pro Bowlers. They have fewer Pro Bowlers than the now 1-15 Carolina Panthers. Panthers had 3, and New England had 2. And of the 10 teams that have clinched a playoff berth, only New England and Miami had 2 apiece.
That's amazing. That's why the Pro Bowl voting really is, there's a problem there. There was also some kind of poll conducted about the top 10 by the fans online, top 10 quarterbacks, and he wasn't even in the top 10.
2nd down and 7 handoff from the 40-yard line, and a gain of 2 on the play by J.R. Redmond.
Well, one of the ways that you get recognition is in the playoffs. There's no way around that. So he'll have his shot at getting a little fame coming his way. And they definitely, as odd as it sounds, will be pulling for the New York Jets coming up here in a little bit on CBS.
And they will not be sticking around to watch. We're going to get on that plane and get home. 38-6, the Patriots, the AFC Eastern Division champions at the 2-minute warning.
In Carolina with the owner of the New England Patriots, Mr. Kraft, Mr. Robert Kraft. Congratulations. That would be the first to stay on this championship.
This is great. This is really great. The most amazing thing is to see so many of our fans here supporting this team. It's just unbelievable. They've been here all day, an hour before the game started, and it's really cool that we could clinch the division.
Now, what can you say about the job that your head coach did this year? So many distractions. He held strong to his beliefs, and you're seeing the benefits.
Well, he's a solid planner. He does his homework. He works very hard. He stays with his plan, and he's someone I have a lot of confidence in and think very highly of.
Probably one of his biggest decisions this year was to stay with Tom Brady, and Drew Bledsoe setting really as a true gentleman on the side and still helping out.
So is one of the finest young men in this country. The NFL is lucky to have him as part of this great game we have, and he's conducted himself beautifully. Bill's decision-making in all football matters has been top drawer.
Are you going to speak to the team after the game?
I'm going to let Bill handle that. I'm going to just try to enjoy this. It's a special moment.
And you're a special man. Congratulations.
Nice to be here.
Hey,
Usually, look out. It's going to get a lot colder now for Bill Belichick.
That had force, too.
It did.
That was pounding.
And it was a direct hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it hits on the back.
Glances up.
Yeah, but this one was right on top and right down.
Oh, I think he'll take it, though.
Oh, he'll take it, yes. Very sweet win, very sweet season. 6th consecutive win is a minute and 7 away. Winky pitches out to Nick Going. He's belted out of bounds by Brian Cox. Terrence Shaw. No gain on the play. Tonight on 60 Minutes, while security experts are reasonably certain they can protect the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake, 60 Minutes will tell you they're not too sure they can do the same thing about Athens when the Summer Olympics are held there 2.5 years from now. That's tonight on 60 Minutes.
You heard that vote of confidence there by Bob Kraft. Normally when a coach gets that vote of confidence, you get worried, but I think this one here, you're safe to say that Bill Belichick definitely has the confidence of his own.
2nd down and 10, Goings again, going up to the 39.
I've enjoyed working with you this year.
I have too,
It's been a fun
Craig.
year.
We've had a good time together, and I think it's nice and apropos that the team that you used to play for is our final game of the season, and you watch him clinch a division championship here today in Charlotte.
Yeah, it's been fun. It was a good homecoming. Some of my old teammates here on the sidelines today, and so it was fun for me to come out and watch them play, but I've enjoyed our group, working with you and Beasley. We got a great group of guys that like to eat as much as I like to eat.
And that is worth watching. 3rd down and 4. 22 seconds to play. Our producer all season long, Bob Dekas. And our director, Mark Grant. Special thanks to Brian Lilly and Andy Kaplan. Kevin Little. There's so many people back there that have done such a great job. Technical manager, Rick Godwin. Our coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Harold Bryant. Senior producer of the NFL Today, Eric Mann. Director, Bob Matina. And the executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Terry Ewards.
You mentioned the man, Pat McGrath.
Pat McGrath, the ubiquitous Pat McGrath, who does more games than humanly possible in all sports, is here with us again today. And special thanks to Dick Fossum, who is with us in the truck all season long with statistics. Dick was one of the most successful high school coaches in the state of Indiana. And we are lucky enough to have him each and every week here on CBS. Helping us put the stats together. 3rd down and 4. Pitch out to Goings, a block from Hetherington, the former Yale quarterback, and Goings is all the way to the 45-yard line. Gain of 16 on the play, and that should do it. The regular season has come to a close. That's the coach of the AFC Eastern Division champion New England Patriots. And for the Carolina Panthers, history for them today. They lose their 15th consecutive game, the most ever in one regular season by an NFL team. And you take a look at the owner, Bob Kraft, as he welcomes his team through the tunnel. Craig, a real pleasure.
Hey, Happy New Year. Look forward to it next season.
Our congratulations to the New England Patriots. For Beasley Reese and Craig James, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Charlotte, North Carolina.